Let's go to work. All right, so we're at 2009. 2009, 2010, 2011, I kind of did sort of the same thing. I was still playing in church. Was still doing music for Miss J. Miss J actually came out with a mixtape, an R&B mixtape in 2009. I started working on a group called Vivid, who was with Brian Angel, who's with Day 26. I was doing music for 3D Nati and my cousin Hot Peas. I was doing a solo project, so I was doing music for him. During that time, also, I started reading a lot of industry books, or a few industry books. I was reading. One was "Make It Happen" by Kevin Liles. Kevin Liles is he started out as I believe, an intern. If you look at the DVD documentary Backstage, which includes Rough Riders and DMX, um, also Rockefeller. Kevin Liles is the one that's in there arguing with Dame Dash while he's getting a haircut. I think at the time he was assistant vice president at Def Jam. He then became president at Def Jam. After becoming president, he stepped down. I believe he went to assistant vice president at Atlantic. And then I believe he also was president at Atlantic at one point. So I read his book, excellent book. And also read Young, Rich, and Dangerous by Jermaine Dupri. That book right there is an excellent book. Basically, how he got his start brings him to where he is now. So that's two books I would recommend. Also, during those 3 years, I started understanding publishing more. I didn't really in the beginning because I didn't have any music that was going to be played on the radio or anything done with it commercially. So I really didn't pay an interest to publishing. I knew how to copyright, but I wasn't seeking any type of publishing or anything. Wasn't really worried about it. But I started understanding publishing and realized there's a whole other source of income that you can gather from publishing. So the three publishing companies out there are BMI, ASCAP. Those are the two main ones that's been around for a long time. And then the third one that came along is CSAC. The main ones that's been around for a long time. And then the third one that came along is CSAC. Um, Now, I believe there's many more, but these are like the three dominant ones. And basically, if you don't know what publishing is, this is the company that basically does the legwork for you. So when your song plays on the radio, no matter what city, state, country, their job is to track it down, record that it's being played, and pay you X amount of cents for every time it's played on the radio. CSAC is what I found to be sort of, I guess, the best one or a good one to go with because it's a tight knit community. It's a small, of the three, is the smallest one, but it seems like they really work hard to get every last cent for the artist. So, also, if I'm not mistaken, they allow you to work with their fellow songwriters and producers. So let's say, for example, Timbaland is a producer signed to CSAC for publishing. There may be an opportunity where you get to work with Timbaland for a project because they want the CSAC family to kind of work together. So if you're trying to get a placement, things like that, I think CSAC would be a good choice. Now, from what I understand, BMI and ASCAP, they don't require any prerequisite for you to get in. CSAC, from my experience, they actually want to hear what you got. And if they like what you have, then they'll let you in. If they don't like it, then you won't be accepted into their publishing company. They'll probably direct you to go to either BMI or ASCAP. Because I don't think BMI or ASCAP does the colleague to colleague networking the way that CSAC would. So it's really your preference. I would say do the research, find out more information, and see which one's best for you. So 2012 to the present, I'm actually looking for artists. Now, been a couple people who approached me and wanted to be produced. But if you're not, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but if you're not at a certain talent level, I'll advise you and direct you, but I probably wouldn't want to sign you or work with you as an artist. Not that I think I'm big and bad, but my time is limited and valuable. So I had I think an 8-year-old kid that sent me a message on, I don't know what it was. It was either Facebook or Instagram, and he was basically like, "Can you send me some?" No, his first comment was, "I'm not that great of a rapper. Can you give me some advice?" And I said, "Unfortunately, I'm not a rapper. There's not much advice that I can give you. But one thing I would do is start listening to your favorite rapper, kind of write out the lyrics, and then rap them back to yourself, or grab their instrumental off of YouTube or wherever you can find the instrumental, and kind of rap the whole song from beginning to end to help build up your skills." And so basically, his next reply was, "Could you send me some free beats that I can rap on?" I was pretty much like, first of all, you say you're not a good rapper, but yet you want me to send you free beats to rap on. I said, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to send you free beats. But once again, I would suggest getting instrumentals, rap a song, rap a different song on top of those instrumentals. And I even told him, hey, if you record yourself doing that, you send it to me, and I think it's pretty good, I'll see where we can go from there. So basically, I am looking for artists to work with. If you're in need and I can help, I want to be able to help. Also, my goal is to stay up to date on equipment that comes out. As you saw in my last video, the MPC Studio was the newest piece of equipment that I purchased. I do want to let you guys know of an excellent place to purchase equipment, and it's called American Music Supply, or American Musical Supply. Basically, it allows you to purchase brand new pieces of equipment. Anything you pretty much can name, you can get from them. You don't have to pay it all up front, which is great because a lot of us are living on a budget. Depending on what you want to purchase, they can split it up into 3, 4, 5, or 6 payments, depending on how much your item costs. So that'll allow you to get some work in without fully having to pay for it. So look into that. Also, what I'll be doing is eventually giving lessons, music lessons. I kind of want to do a school to teach everyone the basics, but I'm not going to give that away too quick. But I do want to let you know that's in the works and that is coming. So what are my tips at this point? Now that we've come to the end of my story, what are my tips? So if you didn't learn anything from these previous videos up until now, I just want to remind you, your past will dictate your future. What you do now will dictate where you will be later. I've grown to network more in Houston. It has been a little harder, like I said in my last video, but I found a way to, and where there's a will, there's a way. You will find a way. I have made some connections here. So if I do need stuff, I know where to go and who to go to and things like that. You want to start where you are. Don't think that, oh, I got to go out and be this right away. Start from where you are. Okay, what do you have to work with? If you have nothing to work with, okay, what piece of equipment do you need to get started? If you want to ask me any questions, hey, what piece of equipment do I need to get started? Or this is what I have. What can I do to sound better or to become better? You can always go to Guitar Center, and trust me, those guys are very knowledgeable. Just ask. Say, hey, I have this piece of equipment at home. I'm trying to become a big time producer. What would you suggest the next step would be? Those guys have great advice also. So don't hesitate to ask. Don't hesitate to ask around. Don't even hesitate to ask a celebrity. I think the other day I tagged one of my favorite producers in a picture I posted, and he actually replied. And I thought it was, someone acting as him, but no, he actually replied to the what I tagged them in. So don't be surprised. They're human beings just like you and I. They may be a little more busier than we are, but you may get an answer. They may be able to answer you right away. Also remember that as a producer, you're going to need a writer, or eventually you're going to need to work with a writer, because you'll have tracks or beats with no lyrics to them unless you write the lyrics. But also out there's writers who are looking for producers. There's people who write songs and have no music to go with it. So writers will need producers, and producers will need writers. Music is going to be here to the end of time. There always will be a writer that needs a producer, and there'll always be a producer that needs a writer. So ask around, look for writers. Go on any of these social media sites and indicate that you're a producer looking for a writer, and you'll be surprised how many people say, hey, I'm a writer that's looking for a producer. Use that to your advantage. Also, there's a couple of websites that you can go to that would help, and they hold different type of networking events. They hold different types of contests. There was one individual who did a remix contest, and he's a well-known producer. And he did a remix contest, and if you won some studio gear. Also, you won some time with him, asking him any questions. You actually got to sit in a studio session. So, and you can win money also. So the first website I'm going to say is blazetrack.com. There's a lot of industry professionals that are there, and that's their way of, I guess, legitimately listening to what you have. A lot of times people, I remember back in the day, you used to burn a CD and want to give it to an artist or a producer, say, hey, listen to what I got. I want to do some beats on you or whatever. If you go to Blaze Track, it does cost, but it allows them to review and critique your music. So if you pay to submit something to them, they have to give you a video review or critique. I think in a certain amount of time or something like that, or you don't get charged for it or something like that. But check out blazetrack.com. Also, Indaba Music, INDABA music.com. Also does a lot of contests and promotions. Um, Also, talenthouse.com does a lot of things, not just for music, but for art, fashion, photography. But they do multiple contests year round. Look into any one of those. Also, look into joining your local uh, Grammy Academy. It will cost you to join it, but there's a lot of perks that come along with it. Go to Grammy.com, take a look at it, and eventually I plan on being at the Grammys, so why not join the Grammy Academy in my local area in the meantime? So I think that's a good investment. I do want to let you know you want to strive to, I guess, look up to certain individuals. So for me, for example, a lot of times when I get stuck, I ask, what would these five producers do? There's five producers that I think I model my style after, and I'm sort of a mix of all five of these individuals. These individuals are Rodney Jerkins, who's done multi-platinum hits, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Destiny's Child, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Grammys all over the place. He's somebody I think when I first started researching producers, he was the first producer I went and did background on, and I'm aware that his brother does producing also. So sooner or later, I will meet that individual. But Rodney Jerkins is probably my favorite producer. The second guy who I actually have been following most of the time is Bryan-Michael Cox. He's done Destiny's Child, Kelly Rowland, LaToya Luckett, Monica, Danity Kane, Day 26, Mary J. Blige. He has a long list of people he's worked with and worked on, and he's also a Grammy Award-winning producer and songwriter. He actually songwrites. The third individual would be Babyface. Babyface is always someone I admire as far as songwriting. He also plays instruments, so he is a producer. But the songs he's written, any hits. If you can think of a hit that went on between 1995 and 2005, I'm pretty sure Babyface wrote it. So, Bended Knee, End of the Road, Water Runs Dry, All Boyz II Men hits. He's written for Toni Braxton, Britney Spears. He has so many people he's written for, I can't even think of them. Also multi-Grammy Award-winning songwriter and producer. The fourth individual, is that fourth? The fourth individual, yes. The fourth individual that I model myself after is Kevin Shakespeare Briggs. This individual has done, the most notable thing he's done is No Scrubs for TLC. That really caught my ear, and then when I found out when I first heard of him, I was looking to buy a female rap CD. Didn't really want to get, the usual Foxy Brown or Kim or Eve. I was like, there's got to be another female out there that I can find. And I ran across this young lady CD by the name of Cha Cha. And I heard a couple of snippets of what she was able to do, so I went out and purchased the CD. And he produced a single for her, and I actually learned a lot about multiple producers on that particular CD. Back in the day when I would buy CDs, I actually would look through the booklet and read all the credits. So I can probably name who did what song and who wrote it and all that information off the top of my head. So Shakespeare's done Cha Cha, TLC, Pink, NSYNC. He's also won Grammys also. And last but not least, a producer that's probably the newest of the five that I've added was Kanye West. Now, I had some reservations at first about Kanye West because if you listen to majority of what he did, it was basically taking a song that was already created, either speeding it up or slowing it down, and then adding drums to it to make another song. So I really didn't want to be a producer that was sampling because I felt, to me, anybody who sampled was cheating. Until I dove deeper into sampling, I understood that sampling is the essence of hip hop. It's a part of hip hop. Also, when I started listening to the songs and the way he would use his samples, I would think to myself, if I heard that same musical clip, would I have done it the same way? And I probably wouldn't have. So there is some creative ability that he's doing using what he has or what he hears and flipping it to make it work, whether it's changing it to a rap song or flipping a rap song, making it into an R&B song. I strive, as far as sampling, when I get more into sampling, I strive to be as good as he is when it comes to the sampling portion. So I hope this video explains a lot to you. I do wish you the best. Please, any questions that you have, please let me know. I thank you guys for all the support. The followers are getting up. The Instagram followers are getting up. The views on the videos are getting higher. So thank you so much. Any questions, any comments, feel free to hit me up. I'll try to answer as many as I can. But like I always sign out, see you at the Grammys.